Today, we're going to talk about fake comments or bot comments that I think there's a new type of fake comment that is a little bit harder to spot. We all know the common, come to this website and meet me, I'm horny, right? There's obvious ones that are like, okay, we know that that's a fake comment. There's just gibberish ones, there's random stuff. But these new ones I think are very smart, and it pertains to the goal. What is the goal behind some of these fake comments that I am starting to see or get suspicious of? They are very similar to real comments, and this is where my brain starts to go, what's going on here? So what are some of these fake comments? A lot of them are on politically charged, all right, or social commentary, or race relations, sex relations. There's lots of these videos out there where people are commenting on something that they've seen in the news, something in pop culture or social media, or what's going on with movies or this or that, something that pertains to our relationships with each other. And so what'll happen is they'll put a comment on that will either be completely the opposite viewpoint to try to sow division with the person that is posting the video. So you have someone that comes out and says, I'm in favor of abortion, let's just say. And then the comment will be like, you're killing babies, you murderer, right? So that's an opposite. Those ones are a lot easier to spot. You can see those. Okay, sometimes they're spammed out, right? Where there's lots of those comments from weird accounts. But the ones that I'm talking about now, these newer ones, they are pro whatever idea is being held. So they are positive comments. They are like-minded comments on the video, but they are pushing people to the extreme. So like I said, hey, pro-abortion, all right, someone, they're going to go to the antithesis, the other extreme of this viewpoint. On these videos, someone might be in the middle, and they might push them to one extreme. They will push them toward one side or the other. Hey, I agree with this. I see that this person is being hypocritical. This is what we're talking about. And what will happen is they'll start to push them more to the extreme on one end. And, an example of this would be like, illegal immigration. Someone will make a video about illegal immigration, and they'll say, you know what? I've been doing my research on this, and I think that we have to find a solution to this illegal immigration. It's getting out of hand. I don't think that we should be giving, just our country open borders, things like that, right? We should find a way. And then someone in the comments will be like, we should round them all up and get rid of them. Okay. And so what happens is there's energy behind that. And that's real sentiment, right? There are people who really do believe that, and they have hard and firm stances, and they have extreme stances. But what I'm seeing is in the comment section, you're starting to get people getting pushed to more extreme or the other. And I see that happening through some of these comments that I believe are fake. I don't believe that a lot of them there are a lot of them that are real, but I think some of them are sprinkled in that are fake, that are bot comments. Now, what's the goal behind this? They want to push us to the extremes, and they want to sow division. Who's they? They could be another government. It could be China. It could be Russia. It could be someone else. It could be within our own government, or within the deep state, or with the powers, the hands behind everything, because they know divide and conquer. If you are fighting amongst your brothers, all right, it's going to be a lot easier to steal from your home. If you're fighting amongst each other, it's going to be a lot easier for you not to see what's really going on to all of you. You guys are arguing about Republican, Democrat, illegal immigration policies, abortion, this and that. Meanwhile, both of you are getting screwed over by the powers that be, or both of you are susceptible to attack from a foreign outside entity. So that's what I see. I see that we're being pushed to the extremes because it's a lot easier to deal with people, divide and conquer. Even in police, when there's a riot, they try to scatter them and get them separate, because a smaller group or an individual is a lot easier to corral than a giant mob of people together. You have to separate and then conquer each individually. With us, if we're all coming from different extremes on things and we can't communicate with one another, it's a lot easier for us to throw in and implement things into our society that make the powers that be, or make, like I said, a foreign entity more powerful than us, the people. If we could galvanize and bring ourselves together, not even a majority, just some of us, the power that has can shape destinies. That's what shaped this country, okay? No taxation without representation. We're like, hey, all right, you guys from this foreign entity are controlling us, all right? We want to stand up. It wasn't like every single citizen said, yeah, let's go. There was a small percentage of people that went out there, said something, and then we were able to fight for our freedom. And this happens everywhere. So it's now a battle in the mind. It's a battle within the comments. And I see these extremes being pushed. Another one that I see in regard to race relations, it's very interesting. They will say, the comment will say, as a black person, like, let's just say the argument is kind of anti-black, all right? Let's just say, like, hey, criticizing what black people are doing, for example. A comment will come up and say, as a black person, I approve of this message. Meaning like, hey, like, we have problems in our community, and there's a lot of people out there who are trying to blame things on systemic racism. So black people get a pass. And in the video, they're saying, hey, no, you don't get a pass, all right? Right? You're responsible for these outcomes, whatever issue it was in this video. And then you'll see in the comments, as a black person, I agree with this. And I'm going, is that really a black person? Is that some rogue person? But I'm saying fake comment. It could be from a fake bot, but it also could be from a person who's not being genuine because they're sowing more division, or they are pushing a racist ideology, or they are pushing a viewpoint of whatever it is on that video, and they want that to spread, and they want people to think, hey, this black person agrees with it, that justifies my opinion on it. I don't know, right? Like I said, I don't know what everyone is thinking. All I know is what I'm thinking, and I know that I can be easily swayed by a group. That's how humans work. We're social creatures. So when I see a comment that has 1,000 likes, I think to myself, maybe these 1,000 people are right. Okay? I start to believe what's being put in front of me because our brains work like that. Who are you going to trust? This is a simple scenario that I often explain to people. I go, who are you going to trust? Two people are arguing. One person has 1,000 followers. That might be me, okay? This has happened to me too, right? Another person has 1,000,000 followers. Who are you going to trust? You're going to trust the person with 1,000,000 followers. There's just something about humans where we look at people and we go, well, I'm going with the social proof, right? 1,000,000 people can't be all wrong, right? There's got to be some truth in that. I've seen situations where there's been someone who has the 100% correct answer, and they have a smaller channel. They don't have as much status. They don't have as much street cred. They don't have as much money. They don't have as much influence. And I've seen them in a conversation, and they're right, and this other person's wrong, and the people side with this person. And you probably have seen this in social situations. Even when you're in school, you're like, yeah, but that guy's lying, but he's popular. That guy's an asshole. He did this, and he blame it on someone else. And because people like that person, they disregard the other person. And it's sad, and it shouldn't work that way, but life isn't fair. But as social creatures, we go along with the masses, and they know this. This is why the news media and propaganda is so effective on us, is because we're social. We have to stay together, and we have to be a part of some group. And that's what's happening now, is those groups are becoming more and more extreme, which causes us to go ahead and fight instead of us really realizing what's happening. We're actually much more alike than you'd like to think. We are very similar. We want the same things, but because we're being pushed ideologically in these separate directions, it makes it harder and harder for us to actually see those similarities. And this is why I made this video, is because I started to say to myself, man, I'm getting extreme. I'm looking at these things, and I try not to get involved in stuff, but sometimes I get bored and I go down rabbit holes, and I'm like, I'm getting pushed to these extremes. I'm like, I'm not an extreme person in regard to these. I am much more in the middle when it comes to a lot of these issues. I see the points of view from all different sides. That's what I try to do on this channel. I try to kind of play devil's advocate sometimes because I like to just get people to think about what's a different perspective. And I get attacked for it a lot. And I see how people are pushed to an extreme. I just made a video about Tom Aspinall, and I'm looking at these comments and I'm going, geez, like these people are so blind to, no pun intended, that came out of nowhere. Sorry, Tom. But they're so blind to their own emotions and feelings about a person that they can't see what happened in this fight. It was a UFC fight and someone got poked in the eye, but I was talking about what are some of these things that were going on before the eye poke, and it's just weird to me to see, but it's normal human behavior. They attach themselves to one person and they disregard everything else. They attach themselves to an idea and they disregard everything else. And I go, hey, that's very dangerous. That's how the Nazi thing starts happening. We have to check ourselves and we have to understand that we're a lot more similar than we'd like to think. And when we start overgeneralizing and pushing these extremes, that's when bad things happen. And I think that is a tactic being used against us, whether that be from a foreign entity or from within, I don't know, that is going to create more separation from us, which allows for us to fight each other, which is not a good strategy. So watch out for fake comments. Watch out for the emotion that happens with you, because that's how they get you. They get you with that emotion. You're upset. You see something on a video. You're upset at that. And then the comments start going and that pushes you more to the extreme. Yeah, get them. Screw these people. Yeah, this. But I'm telling you, I've felt it myself and I know it's there. And you might feel justified, but who was justified in putting people and burning them to death? All right, strangers, over things that you would never do if you were in your right mind, but it's because you've been pushed to that extreme. I don't like extremes when it comes to people, especially when it comes to human life. And that's where these things usually end up, and that's not a good place. So that's it for today. Watch out for the fake comments. Be critical of what you're seeing. How do you know that's a real person? Even though it looks and it feels and it sounds just like a real person. Is it really there? How are you feeling? Is this just an emotional response, or is this what you really truly believe? Take a step back, look at things, try to be a little bit more unbiased or separate yourself from that emotion when you're looking at these things. That's it for today. Until next time, I'll see you then.